So this is the first war of season 44. I am bringing Hercules, Massacre, and Silk, and I am taking Path 8 and then Path 1. Couple new things. The first new thing is obvious, it's the tactic. There's a new tactic. Decay and Sugar Pill are the two tactics, and it's some sort of placebo buff, unstoppable, and all that fun stuff. The other new thing is that I did kind of change up my thumbnail, so instead of putting the fight numbers, I put a little map demo. So if y'all like that, please let me know. I think it looks cool enough and is fairly informative, but if that's not something that y'all like, just let me know. And yeah, so here's Herc. I mean, it's Hercules. I did ascend him just because I run a lot of Hercules, and I decided I was going to go for an SP2 and then another SP2. Why I thought that was going to work, I don't know. Should have done an SP1. That would have been much smarter. So I really, like, in this fight, I play really well in terms of I don't make mistakes. But, like, what am I doing here? Like, there's no reason to throw this special 2. It doesn't do any damage. Like, why would I do that? So, anyway, super dumb is what it is. Here we go. Get this out of him. Dex that. And yeah, like literally just doesn't make any sense. I'm actually at a loss for words in terms of how I played this fight. Really just not smart. We are going to get away from it without really any mistakes, but yeah, play smart, folks, play smart. So here I Relic, because they also added Relics into War, and yeah, so that fight goes down without a problem. Then I have Knull, also going to be using Hercules. I could literally use any of my attackers here, to be honest. It's literally just a Knull, but Hercules I need to ramp up, so I'm going to be doing that. But yeah, they did add strikers. There are a bunch of strikers that are really, really good for certain attackers, so definitely look around for guides and other things like that, because it's pretty important, and they're going to make a huge difference to the game. And there are probably 4 or 5 strikers that are really, really good with certain attackers, if not more. Okay, so I want to push him to SP2, so the hope is that I can turtle 4 hits, then I can special 1, and he'll get pushed to SP2. But as you can see, that doesn't happen, so oops. Anyways, I get a light intercept because he doesn't want to throw it. Get that Dex going up against the corner. Alright. Heavy counter that just because I can. Stand up. And we're pretty much in good shape. Now, if I could Relic, that would be amazing. So I was hoping I would be able to Relic, but I wasn't really sure. Looks like I could have if I wanted to, but, you know, not that big of a deal. Drop that special 2, and Knull's gone. So, 2 fights. Really, really easy with Hercules. Nothing at all going on there. I usually cut between, like, map movements, or at least sometimes I do, but I'm not going to do that for the first couple wars, because I want to just illustrate kind of how the map works and give y'all another chance to just kind of see movement about it, because it is a different map and it's a little bit weird. So the more exposure you have to it, the better, I would assume. And now I have Hercules. It's never back down, and kind of 2 things are going through my mind. The first thing is I haven't been able to get her special 2 punish down, so I won't punish it. And then the second thing is that I don't know why I didn't trigger Infuriate there, by the way. The second thing is that when I intercept, it makes it so that her SP2 or her regen SP2. Well, I can't speak. Her regen is going to do less regen against an SP1 or an SP2. As you can see, it regens a lot, but for every one of those charges, it's going to regen less. And an intercept is what makes that. Okay. Glad I can finally speak now. So here I'm just going to bait this out, and I mean, she could throw it. That's really cool. So I Infuriate her. And again, same thing. Remember, I don't really want to punch this. You can, I just am not comfortable with it. But you 100% can. And so I'm doing intercepts, and at this point, 2 is enough, but also, like, my SP2 is going to kill. Except, she goes unstoppable. So I kind of didn't know that, so maybe I should have been doing a little bit better of research. But anyways, I don't get punished, and then I hit a nice little nifty light intercept to finish the job. So should have read her abilities a little bit better. Definitely will read them more thoroughly if I take her again. Next up, we have a Buffet Quicksilver. The number 1 worry is, of course, if I get killed or almost killed, my immortality buff is going to get eaten by Buffet. So let's not get hit down to 1%. I mean, that's usually the goal anyway. Alright, so I cancel out his evade, and then I'm going for my intercepts. And I don't really care about building myself up is the thing. Like, before, I was trying to be careful about intercepting and heavying here. This is my last fight. I really don't care. So I'm just going to be getting charges any way I can. Alright, I'm trying to bait out the special 2. I can fully dex the special 2, but I'm not going to do that in war. That doesn't really make all that much sense. And there we go. I'm clearly making decent headway in this fight. I'm hoping that the special 2 is just going to finish the job. Okay, kind of was hoping I could relic there, but I didn't really get a chance. And here I just dropped the special 2 because I have a feeling it's going to kill. And it doesn't, but it does basically, and the stun is enough for me to finish the job. I should have backed off there after if it hadn't killed, because he had an evade ready, so you got to be mindful of that, but it killed in time. Okay, then I have an Ebony Maw, and I'm going to be using Silk. Silk is really fun to use. I really enjoy using her. Her damage is a little bit reliant on aggressiveness. I wish they would put in a small clause that's even like, for every physical vulnerability, opponent is 1 or 2% more aggressive or something. Like something weak but helpful. And here you're going to see that Maw being a little asshole makes me rooted. I mean, because I hit that parry, it just didn't parry because it was a medium. But like, as you can see, like I didn't do anything wrong there, but I just got rooted at the beginning, which really sucked. And here, I'm just going to push him to SP2 because I don't have to deal with the buffs that way, which for one, interact with the node, but also, yeah, and I get parried. I forgot about that, oh boy. So I tried to punish that special 2, and I was even doing tons of mediums so I could be there, and it still just didn't matter. So here we go, and I was going to drop my special 2, and then I was like, I'd rather use the relic. I can also dex this special, but like, again, why? There I get a nice little light to pause the timer. Into relic, and then I drop my heavy into my special 3. This special 3 is going to go ahead and put a stun on Ebony Maw, and when that stun is active, he has minus 100% combat power rate, so he's only going to be having 25% combat power rate. Actually, it's going to be 0 because it's power, what it focused to. So yeah, no power at all. My apologies. But that finishes the job. Not really a good Silk fight. I'm not that used to using her in war. I've only used her a handful of times, but she's really freaking good, especially with the tactic. Okay, now I have a couple boss island fights left. I have this Kindred, and this one's going to be fun. This one's on the Falter node and the power reserve, power efficiency one. I could have just waited 1 second and I would have seen exactly what it was called. And so the problem with Silk versus Kindred is Silk has a double medium, which means if I dash back and dash in, he's gonna hit me if I block the special 1 and dash in rather. So I just want to be aware of that. Do my heavy. All right. Now I just want to throw the special. And what I'm gonna do, actually, here's my issue here. I want to let the evade trigger. So, for some reason, I read the movement, and I'm like, oh, that heavy, that's a special one. It's not, by the way, spoiler alert. And I get hit in the face, so oops. The other thing you want to be aware of, and here I just don't punish. The other thing that you want to be aware of is that he's going to go stun immune, and you should not try to do heavy stuns when they're stun immune, just FYI. So, did a good job of using the Falter there. And also, the other thing is with the tactic, like, I really don't necessarily care about turning off his Nightmare Outbreak, and so I don't know what the hell that was. I was trying to chain into a relic, and I just threw the relic before my heavy it landed, so big brain plays over there. But again, I don't really care about Nightmare Outbreak. Like, if I can punish this special 2, that'd be dope, but if not, who really cares? And now I'm trying to be a little bit mindful of making sure that I have a special for his root. And so what I do, first off, is, oh boy, lots of intriguing gameplay here. And check this out. I hit a beautiful intercept, but didn't notice, oh, I'm faltered. So, again, terrible. And now I decide I'm going to dump my special 1 so I can finish with the special 2. Easy. But I decide that right maybe 3-4 frames after I'm supposed to, and so my chain is slow. Again, terrible gameplay. And this is why I don't care about the Nightmare Outbreak, because look at how much damage that degen's doing. A big fat 0, so really not that big of a deal. And here the combo takes me into the root, so I relic just to give myself reaction time, drop the special 1, and it's done. Terrible, horrendous fight. We got it done though. It's just not a fight I've done before, so I want to be a little bit more familiar with it, and that was enough for me. So hopefully I'll be able to do that fight better next time. Here's Masacre versus Mysterio on Polka Dot Power Stunning Reflection. In the same vein, I have never done this fight. I actually have never used Masacre for this meta. Or not meta, for this tactic. So, yeah, first Masacre fight's going to be a mini-boss in war, so yay. But the game plan going in was, okay, I'm going to turtle, push him to SP2, which, hilarious that he immediately threw that. And then I am going to heavy and slow. And the reason why you saw me tap him there is because I knew that the dexterity was going to expire and potentially make him unstoppable, and I wanted to do that while I was in a don't hit him phase anyway, because obviously in the Thorns phase you don't really want to hit him. Here's my mistake. I should have thrown the SP2 when I had like 3 Incinerates up, but instead I wanted to get cheeky, and I wanted to get more Incinerates, and now you're going to see I literally never have another opportunity to throw the special with that many Incinerates. So, let's try this again. And I'm going to heavy him, which probably was also a mistake. And yeah, I just have to throw this unignited. So, just not good. Specifically on a stun immune node, it's kind of hard to weave in those heavies. And yeah, I also decided to take a heavy of my own because why not? I do have an invulnerability boost on, as I did for the Kindred fight as well. And this is just, I'm just not used to the rotation. Like, I also am not playing that good, admittedly, but I genuinely am not just used to the rotation, and him being on a stun reflection node doesn't help. And him having 2 specials that I can't realistically punish after also doesn't help. So just probably a little bit of a perfect storm. Here I push him to an SP3 on purpose because I don't have to deal with any of those after effects, and it is just like simple. So I don't have to bait specials, and yeah, super easy. He is going to have a Fury afterwards, but I can hit him during a Fury. Okay, here we go. Parry him, knock him down for the slow. That's what I needed to be doing a little bit more. Honestly, probably could have just given up on the SP2 altogether and gone for SP1s. But anyways, get through that fight, and that is the end of my war. A bunch of really messy fights, but I'm kind of getting used to the tactic, as a lot of people are right now. But get out with all solos, which is really good. So thank you so much for watching. That's War 1 done.